without knowing it was the law of attraction, Steve, it dates back so far. It's just that we never had the name for it that we have now, which, of course, the movie The Secret brought out, which was wonderful. But these kinds of things have been around forever. And so this is something I've been studying anyways. And really, when I became a coach, a law of attraction coach, it had taken on another level because all of a sudden it had intensified, and it had grown into an understanding that I could really apply to my life. So, for example, when you wrote, that was a perfect timing, and I'm like you. I don't believe in any accidents, and synchronicity is one of the things that happens in law of attraction because you're manifesting these things all the time anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe, Bambi, how this works is it's about who we are being. So
absolutely.
Whoever we are being is what gets to create all this wonder.
Yes.
And that could be good stuff, and could be bad stuff, and could be a combination.
Absolutely, because what we're thinking about is creating a reality all the time, and it's as simple as what you think about expands. So to really grasp that concept and then start integrating that into your life, you realize that if I'm thinking about things not going well, then they're not going to go well. And if I think of things being fantastic, they're going to be fantastic. I mean, mindset is everything.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting is that when somebody first told me about The Secret, I was just smiling because I said, "What secret? This has been around
forever,
for thousands of years." It's just people just figured out how to market it, in a much wider sense. So my hat is off to all those people, and you and I both know who they are,
mm-hmm.
that made it happen. Because without that, and it's just like what I talk about a lot, without people knowing, for a long time, Real Coaching Radio Network was the best kept secret, and we're coming out of that,
which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Now it's very interesting about. The Secret had its purpose, and I think it's a wonderful thing as a first stepping stone to really raise global consciousness, because I really believe that's what it did. But there were certain pieces that were missing, and that's okay. People got onto a journey to start figuring that out, started researching more, started looking more, and finding the truth about that. And it's not really about manifesting things so much, Steve. I'm sure you'd agree that it's more about becoming who you are, or manifesting peace in your life or joy in your life, more than it is the things that they talked about.
Yeah, it's almost like that there's a destination, and there is no destination. It's just the journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's nowhere to get to.
Learning to enjoy all of it.
Yeah, and let's touch on that for a second, because I find so many people living in the past and recreating their future from the past. From your perspective, what's going on there? What's that about?
Well, I'll use an example of any time that we're spending time paying attention to the past, whether we're not forgiving somebody, whether we're remembering childhood experiences, whether we're remembering a broken heart, anytime we're staying in that place, that's still the vibration that we're vibrating at, energetically, and that's what we're putting out. And so what happens, we just keep reliving the same thing. In some form. It doesn't mean necessarily the same exact situation, but those kinds of energetics are still going to start showing up in our life. A lot of what I do with my life coaching is we do a lot of future visioning. And future visioning is based on working from today forward to start envisioning what you want from your future and not spending so much time in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, that just brings something up for me, something else, which is kind of interesting. Is a lot of people think that in order to be this new possibility, this future possibility that they want to create, that there's all these things that they have to do first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think that that's certainly everybody's tendency, but the reality of the law of attraction is it's not at all about doing the things. It's very much about getting to that place inside yourself first where you can see that and you can feel yourself being and having that in your life. Because
right
you know, I think it's an interesting thing with the law of attraction that none of us are used to it because none of us were trained in this. We weren't brought up so much in this type of thinking. But if you can see and envision and feel yourself having what it is that you want, the universe meets you in that place. You know, so that's kind of this like attracts like, that when we're vibrationally in alignment with what it is that we want to manifest, that's what starts showing up in our life instead. And it's not about running out and doing all this stuff, although action is required, but it's more about coming from that place vibrationally inside first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you think in terms of the law of attraction? I mean, it did do a lot of good, but it also left things out. Some important
and the
things.
secret, yeah.
Yeah. Because after people seeing it for 2 or 3, 4 times, they think they can just sit on their couch and keep...
like the guy in the car, right? Yeah.
Yeah, keep being positive and wishing things into reality.
Yeah.
And that's not my experience. Yeah.
No, and it's not so much. I mean, I think that they barely touched on that, but I think what probably the point they were trying to get to with that is, I mean, they showed an example